All right, here we go. It's Tuesday, and as promised, to Killing It, aka Resurrected, aka whole bunch of question marks, aka the fake mark. I'm in the Ben Hill region. You can see there I am a whopping level 9. And, I'm gonna farm the XP roadmap, not even the good one, just the first stage, if it'll let me tap on it. I joined some faction. It was the first recommended faction that came up. I figured, why the hell not? Let's take this guy. I may fail a couple of these, and that's all right. This is Ben Hill. This is this isn't even a secondary region. This is a pop in and say hi to my buddy every now and again region. Oh, I need to turn on do not disturb mode. Okay, there we go. Do not disturb. I don't need no pop-ups coming in and whatnot. So, title says it. Event updates. Let's start with them. Survival Road Tournament happening today, and so far it's been a big cluster. Man, Scopely on the ball with screwing around. They must have... Yeah, the new Negan is no different whatsoever. It's the same old 3-star that most everybody got with Prestige when it first started. I think that's what it was for anyway. We got a scavenger road tournament, solo style. Ooh, those are so much fun. But Scopely, they must have like rolled back to some old code or something, because there were a lot of people, myself included, who had only 4 hits per energy can, and it took like an hour for each one to refill, and the forums were blowing up. You know, everybody's going crazy there, and Shane didn't respond immediately. You know, it was an hour or so, and I haven't checked since. I don't know if she's responded, you know, at all. I know Andrea from Scopely got on there and said that they were aware of it. So I'm assuming something's going on there. And I'm told that it was fixed, but they didn't like give anybody a refill or even refill the energy for anybody. They just changed it to 8 and to a 15-minute cooldown. So that kind of blows. They got past it. Good on you, little 3 stars. So there's that. Rumor is that we're gonna have a faction raid tournament this weekend. So if you got cans in your depot, pick them up. Every little bit helps. For faction raid tournaments, you know, I'm not a big fan of faction leaders putting minimums on events. You know, you shouldn't feel obligated to hit a certain number to support your faction. But I do think that it's good for each individual member of a faction to have a certain goal. You know, if you're a newer, lower level player, you may want to just look at what you did in the last event, in the last faction raid, and try to outdo that number. If you know that you've been carrying the faction, you know, maybe you've Spencer and God, who else was it that was carrying Poops or Rainbow, whatever the hell you want to call them, and some of the guys from our faction in my main region that have been putting up big numbers. Maybe you want to start out a little bit lower and, you know, let your faction help you out. You know, I need to step it up in my main region. I haven't put up as big in numbers as some of the other people in our faction, and I'm gonna really do my part this weekend. And then I think the best thing that Scopely's done for these faction tournaments is the individual milestones. You know, you get 2,100 individual points, and you get a certain little reward tier. I think that's a good thing, and I think that that should be everybody's personal goal, is to hit that top mark. And if you hit that top spot, that top tier in those individual milestones, you're really going to be doing a number for your faction. Now, in a raid tournament, if you think about it, everybody hits that number, you're looking at 66, or no, shit, what would that be? What, 69,000? I don't know, my math may be off. I'm trying to focus on the road too. But you're looking at 69,000 points. That's a healthy number to have in a faction raid tournament. And you think every raid can is worth roughly, what do we figure? A good healthy estimation of 90 points per raid can. Right? Or am I wrong there? 15 points per victory. So yeah, it'd be 90 points per can. Well, over the course of a 2-day event, you're looking at getting a lot of natural raid hits through just time. You know, you get one every 45 minutes. So you're not going to have to use too many cans to hit that 2,100. And maybe you just don't have the time to commit, and then that's when you need to really look at using some raid refills. But I think that you should definitely make it your goal to hit that top personal milestone during the raid tournaments, during the faction ones. And it is also my belief that while supporting the faction is important, individual tournaments in the past have always given out better rewards. You don't have many, well, save up. If you don't have many, let your faction know. That's the best thing you can do, is if you know you're not going to be able to help as much as the next person, let them know, hey, I've got 6 raid cans. I need somebody to help pick up the slack, because I'm not going to be able to do that much. Me personally, I think I have like 80 or so that I'll put forth a good majority of those as long as they're needed. I know that my main faction, we schedule pushes. We schedule, at 6 o'clock Central, we're going to need everybody to get on and make a big push so that we can strengthen or pick up the pace and catch up to somebody who's ahead of us. So maybe you guys need to think about doing that with your factions. We use the Line app outside of the game to chat. I think it's a good app. I'm exploring using Discord for other games, and I like it a lot. So, there's always the possibility of that. And there's Kick and other apps you can use, or if you feel comfortable with your faction mates and you guys want to use text messaging, do that. It's up to you. But I really think that if you want to be a top faction and be a top player in the game, you need to have something outside of the game to communicate with your teammates in. Other big news on events. Next week is looking like war. Next weekend, a long anticipated, long gone war. I've seen rumors that it's going to be region war. I really don't think the first war that they do following this big absence is going to be region. I think it's going to be an inter-region war where you're going to fight, you know, the other factions in your region. I don't think it's going to be cross-region. I don't work for Scopely though, so I can't make that call. But my assumption would be a normal inter-region all-out war with probably some pretty good prizes, considering the length of time that it's been since we've had a war. Although the Survival Road tournament has got pretty crap prizes from what I've seen. So there's the event updates. There isn't much in the way either of what from what I've heard. I'm guessing that to break up the yeah, hopefully I am. Hopefully to break up the faction raid tournament this weekend and the war next weekend, we're probably going to see probably a level up is what I would imagine you should prepare for. And I've got a great question from faction members on my Chilton region account. How do you prepare for a level up event? Well, you don't need necessarily a ton of 5 stars or now 6 stars or even 4 stars to maximize your efforts in a level up tournament. You can use 2 stars and 3 stars to really push your faction, especially in the faction tournaments. Your 2 stars are really important. Yeah, exactly. See, that's one thing I don't think they understand on the forums about the war. What Austin said, if you didn't catch that, is that he'd rather wait for them to really fix war before, you know, bringing up a broken war. And a lot of people on the forums just don't seem to understand that they would be in there, they're in there complaining about a lack of war. There's no war, where's war, blah, 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 you're losing a lot of players. Well, just a month or so ago, during the last war, they were the same people on the forums complaining that war was broken. And so right now Scope is in a bit of a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario, and they went with the damned if you don't, because they're trying to put a focus on listening to their consumer and trying to improve the things that the consumer would like to see improved. One of which being war. They want it less buggy, less laggy, more fair, you know, a good user experience. And so we got to give them a chance to fix it before we can complain about it not being there. Now, if they roll out war next weekend and it's still buggy as ever and it's still broken, and you know it's been gone for a month and a half and nobody can see any difference, then we can complain. Then it's okay to complain, in my opinion. But back to the level up talk. What you need to do to prepare for level ups is you need to have a shit ton, a metric shit ton, not an imperial units, metric of gloves, the work gloves and the wrinkled shirts saved up, right? And once you have, God, I can't remember the math I did, how many you need for a full day's worth of training. 96. Once you have 96 or so of each, and what would that be, 120 survivors, you can put them into a training ground. I would say actually probably double or triple that. You want to make it to where there's no lapse. You want it to be continually training so you can continue to add more. Oh, there we go, leveled up. Look at me. I'm hot stuff on this region. Yeah, you want to have just a ton of 2 stars readily available. You want to have as many as you can of each different persona and each different color trained up to tier 2 or tier 3. I would say tier 2 to start out with. And then you want to have as many 4 stars and 3 stars at tier 2 or 3 as you can, for each color, each trait. And the same for 5 stars. If you have them, you want them to be as low level as possible to maximize the number of points you get as you in the early parts of the level up. And you want to make good use of your scavenger camps. Level up tournaments are all about preparation, and you can prepare for them. And I think I'll do an entire video, probably outside of a stream. I won't even do a stream. It'll be an actual, I'm going to record it, sit down and show you, walk you through everything that you can do to prepare for a level up. And the other part of the title that I haven't got to yet is specialist skills. Yesterday I talked a lot about human shields, and I went through the different human shields that are out there that you can use, and benefits, negatives, what you want to do with them, what you don't want to do with them, weapons you want to put on them. You don't want to level their adrenaline rush, all that. So today I just wanted to kind of briefly touch on the different specialist skills in the game, and just kind of talk about the ones that I like, the ones that I think are useless, the ones I think are super useful, and how to properly use them. Obviously human shield is a specialist skill, so I'm not going to go over human shield. But one of them that's very common out there that gets a lot of run and you got to be careful with is the guardian specialist skill. And what that one does is whenever you swipe right on your character, that's to just go into defend mode, you get a 50% bonus to your defense, but you also, the last character to act, the last character to do anything, they get to hit again. They get to, you get to use them again. And it's really useful for a turn 1 offense, a turn 1 attack. And I use it on my main region account, on my attack team, with Survival Road Ezekiel. I have a command Maggie that we got from the Cross Region Wars. I will command Survival Road Zeke, who gives an awesome healing and attack buff and defensive buff, and I do that on turn 2. That's when he'll be ready for me with my leader and my weapon I got on him. And so what that does is it turns my entire team into a very tanky, very heavy hitting team, and it makes just one-hit kills without adrenaline rush as possible. So Guardian is very, very important, but you got to use it right, because you don't want to put, when you're making your team on the team building screen, you know how you got your leader in the first slot, you don't want to put your Guardian on that second slot, and you don't want to use a Guardian as your leader. Some of the better Guardians out there are that Maggie that you get from that we got from Cross Region Wars, Miraboobs, 5-star Mirabelle. She's got a great adrenaline rush, and she's got the Guardian skill. There's a Green Jesus, I believe, that has a Guardian, and he's very powerful. Oh man, there's some more out there. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. Yeah, there's Guardians that you want to make sure you put them right after your fastest adrenaline rush building tune. So if you've got a Victor, for instance, you're going to want to put that Mirabelle right after Victor when you're building your teams, because yeah, command. Yeah, what am I saying? Am I saying Guardian? It's command. What am I thinking? Good catch, Austin. Command. Guardian I talked about yesterday as well. Guardian, it provides that one-hit shield for you. Neutralize. Neutralize. Blue Tyrese, before you ascend him, is a neutralize. Red Luke, available in the depot, is a neutralize. There's a few more. There's a Green Carl that's now ascendable, that's neutralized. There's a couple other good ones out there. Oh, Yellow Tyrese, the axe wielding Tyrese, the Sandy. There's a couple Rositas that are neutralized. You want to put them at the end of your team. So in that 5th slot on well, at least that's how it used to be. I don't know. I haven't watched many recorded defenses lately. I probably should do that to see if the scope. It used to be that you would attack in the order of your team building. It'd be 2, 3, 1, 4, 5. That's how your defense would attack for you. And I still set it up that way to where my neutralizers are on one end, on the far end, the 5th slot of my teams. You don't want to use neutralizers first. You don't want to, hit with blue tie and then use the rest of your team. You want to go the other way. And you want to make sure I don't know if you noticed this, you can tap and hold on an enemy. And you can see what they've got going on. And then when you're fighting a human enemy, it'll tell you how much their adrenaline rush has been built up. It'll be in the middle right-hand side, toward the bottom, I think. And it'll say like 45 out of 56. Well, you know that person's got 2, maybe 3 more hits, and then they're going to be ready to pop. Well, you want to hit them, and check them again. And if they're at 90%, so let's say it's a 45 adrenaline rush, if they're at 40 or higher, I think it's 90%, right? Maybe 41 or higher. If you hit them with a neutralize, they're not going to be able to use their adrenaline rush. It's going to impair them for 1 turn. And that can save your ass in a tight situation. So make sure you're hitting last with your neutralized characters. Now, another specialist skill that gets a lot of downplay, that a lot of people don't like, and I personally do, is Retribution. Retribution is when that character gets killed, they apply, I think it's 20% of every team member's AP to them. So if, the Shiva Force Ezekiel, for example, I think all 3 levels, tight ass. I think that all 3 levels of the Shiva Force Ezekiel have Retribution. So if you get killed, if that character gets killed, every character on that team that didn't die is going to get 20% of their adrenaline rush points added to it. So, for a lot of adrenaline rushes, that's a significant portion. And, that's going to make a lot of them ready. Especially if you've got like a reviver on your team that can just revive that character. Like the Kirkman series Rick. I got him. He's Retribution. And once his adrenaline rush pops, he doesn't stop. He's the Lay's version of Rick. Or the Pringles version of Rick. Once you pop, you just can't stop. So, if he gets killed, Hunter gets that 20% boost, and he's got to be close to being ready to pop, and he can just revive him, and then Rick can start popping immediately. Now, if you got more than 1 Retribution on your team and they both get killed, that's a double one. Huge res. That's Manic Destroyer. Go check his channel out and subscribe to him. I play Overwatch with him a lot. It's COTS. So whenever you see Overwatch with COTS and friends, that's Manic Destroyer's COTS. Go check him out and subscribe to his channel too. Pulling for Mag, I don't know, man. I'm not huge on doing prestige pulls. If you've got the coin to spare, save it for a raid tournament and buy refills. And like I went through yesterday, and yesterday was freaking terrible with the human shields, man. I think they're overrated. I think shields can be a bit overrated. But if you do have a stun gun and you've got a lot of coin to spare, go ahead and pick yourself up some some Magna if you can. See what other specialist skills we got. You got the Indomitable, and not the Snowman Indomitable, but Indomitable. God, I hate that word. You know, Hunter has it. There's a 4-star Yellow Gregory that has it. And there's a couple others that got it. It basically, what it does is every time that character gets hit and it's not stunned or it's not impaired, I think, they get 30%, no problem. They get 30% defense added to them, so they basically, the next hit is 30% weaker. And again, that's a really good one to have. There's not very many characters that have it, but it's a solid specialist skill. It's one of the more powerful ones, in my opinion. Parting Shot. I've had a lot of Parting Shot victories in the past. All Out War Negan has it, for example. And basically, and that's really helpful on Survival Road, the Parting Shot, especially the further down SR you get. It guarantees a critical hit on the character that killed your character. So that yellow Carl, there's 2 of them on the screen now. If that one dies at the hands of a walker, he's gonna kill that walker because it's a critical shot guaranteed, and criticals are headshots. And that can be very helpful on SR the further down you get, because man, that shit is tough. Let's see, what else do we got for specialist skills? There's so many now. Collateral damage is found on, let's see, there's the original Shiva has collateral damage. And what that is, whenever that character lands a critical hit, it's splash damage, I think. Pretty sure that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure somebody will. I don't care that I'm out of storage. I'm just farming. Let's see, what other specialist skills are there? There's the Tenacity, which is on that Negan. Tenacity is terrible. It is the worst specialist skill by far. Tactical Sunglasses, that's found on Soldier 76. Tenacity, though, it's a terrible, it's a worthless specialist skill. It really is. And, oh, you thought you were gonna one-shot me? Well, here I am, and I still got 1 HP left. So now you gotta waste a hit to kill me. That's not gonna come in handy, ever. Because the characters that it's on are garbage too. Clementine's garbage, the red one. Who's that blue one that's got it too? God, what's her name? Bonnie? Is it Bonnie? No, it's not Bonnie. I can't remember which one it is. But she's garbage too. This Negan, he's garbage. Yeah, what else do we got for specialist skills? Human Shield. There's that new one that's on Lil Bow Wow. What's that one called again? Shit, what is that? What is that called, man? It's the one that's on Bow Wow. Basically, every time a teammate gets killed, you get 25% attack and defensive buffs for every teammate that's killed. So if it's down to Lil Bow Wow and the other 4 have gotten killed, he's got a 100% attack buff and defensive buff. It can be useful, but in a world full of Andreas and Blue Tyrese's, he's gonna be dead before he can even use that. There's the Waste Not. Damn, look at that, leveled up again. No, I don't want to look at Survival Road. I don't care. Question mark. What's good, killing it? I'm in Ben Hill. There's your proof. back out. There you go, Ben Hill here. Wonderful, wonderful region of Ben Hill. I'm gonna get back to my farming here. Made it up to level 11. Look at me, I'm balling. Fucking click. Oops. Yeah, Retribution, I just went over. I think it's a good skill, but there are people that will argue that with me. Let them argue. What else is there? Yeah, I don't know. Can't think of any more. Oh, the Waste Not, or whatever. No Waste, or whatever it is that Michonne has, that blue one. That one, it splits the damage that would be taken if to another character on the enemy team. You're in global. Good job, man. I'm driving. I ain't gonna chat. Crazy. It splits the damage if it kills somebody to another character on that team. It's pretty cool. Haven't used it yet. Hold the line. That's it. There, thank you. Thank you. Hold the line. So have you got topics that you want me to cover on these daily drives? Leave it in the comments so that I for sure see it. Don't use the live chat. Leave it in the comments. Send me a DM. Hit me up online. Find me on Twitter or something. Should have the links to Twitter and Line and all that in my inbox or on the description. So if it's not there, shit, check another video. I know I've got it in there somewhere. On Twitter, I'm that dude Larry, ThatDoodLarry. Online, I'm that dude Larry, just like the channel here. I'll see you later, Austin. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, what do you think of this this Survival Road tournament? I think it's weak. I think it's weak. It's too long. Prizes aren't good enough. I think it's just really weak. We did get the weapon part roadmap overnight, yesterday and through today. And I think I love that they started doing that. I think that's a great idea. Got me a couple duct tapes now, so I'm gonna save them and not use them anytime soon because I've got all the weapons I need right now. I think I got something crafting right now. I can't remember what it is. It would be... Oh, I'm working on Kirkman Rick's weapon. I had him a nice legendary weapon built with bonus HP and defense, just to make him a true tank. But I decided that with the special skill that comes on that weapon, the regain 100% hit points when killing an enemy, I would, and now that I have a ranged team leader in that new beginning Negan, I decided I was going to go ahead and try to put a attack and a hopefully huge AP when attacking, so that I can pop even quicker with him. Because I mean, he's 56 AP, and with the very, very large, he'll gain 28 per attack. With huge, he'll gain 30 per attack. So he'll be ready on turn 3. With the right leader, I might be able to get him to turn 2 if he takes. Let's go ahead and hit up global chat here and see what our boy Rez / killing it. There he is. There he is. Here, if you want some info on Rez, There it is. He's in Valhalla. He's got a bunch of characters in his name that don't make any sense. You might try Hooked on Phonics, dude. That should help you with that. I don't know if they still make it or not. It was big in the 90s and stuff. That should help you with the spelling there. It's just kind of wrong. If you're in the Ben Hill region, go ahead and give him a shout out, rate him. Take all his food and his materials because he don't need it. Now, if you're wanting me to come to your region and give you a shout out, or start a little side account there in your region, let me know. Hit me up. Tell me what region to join next, and I'll come stop by and say hi. I've been in and out of Ben Hill a few times now, just saying hey in the global. I like to meet people on here. I ain't gonna raid you, man. I've got Doc Stevens and Carl. The hell am I? Hey, come on over to Worth and raid me, even with your team. And let me put a war defense up. Yeah, getting close to the end of the stream here. I'm getting close to home. I'm gonna work on making a video for preparing for level ups that will hopefully help somebody out in the future. Man, what the hell is going on with my garage door opener? It ain't working. There we go. Alright. So, as always, thanks for watching. We're getting close to the 50 subscriber mark. I think last I saw we were at 39. So once we get to 50, I'll do a special thank you video, and we will announce how to go about giving away that $10 gift card, or to the iTunes gift card, or Google Play, or PayPal, or whatever it is you want. So hit that subscribe button, share it to people in your region, in your faction, whatever. Let them know the next 30-day pass is on me. And that's saying something, because I don't even buy myself a 30-day pass. So hop on it. We get to 100 and I'll do 2 more, maybe 3 more, who knows. Maybe I'll have to go nuts. Thanks for watching. Remember, leave your region in the comments if you want me to come give you a shout out. I'd be more than happy to. I'll come farm on your region. Yeah, same here, Rez. I gotta go farm. Deuces.